Welcome to Virals and Trend, where we look at the stories you have heavily commented on, causing them to trend across all social media. I'm Marian Delekwe, starting out strong today. Let's talk about something that's got many Nigerians' homes buzzing today, especially if you are a parent, a student, or even an older sibling waiting to celebrate someone's WAEC result. Finally, it's here. Now, WAEC has announced that it withheld the results of 167,486 candidates who sat for this year's WAEC because of alleged examination malpractice. According to the examination body, that's about 8.6% of everyone who wrote the exams. WAEC says candidates were caught using mobile phones in examination halls despite the ban. There were also cases of organized cheating in some schools. Even more concerning, some supervisors and invigilators were allegedly caught helping candidates cheat and have now been arrested. Let's take a look.
Withheld accounted to 8.59%. In terms of the numbers, we have 167,486 candidates. That is lower than the figure obtained in 2025, which was 9.7%. You will also recall that we did not have incidents.
And this has got a lot of people talking. Let's take a look at some of your comments that we did grab on social media now. Achisam XOXO commented, "This generation of kids are no longer intelligent, or what?" She's asking, "I'm seeing WAEC results that are too regular. During our time, we scored better than these, or am I tripping? I think the usage of TikTok or social media is ruining things. I'm not impressed by the results I have seen so far, and people are making it look like it's an outstanding performance." Okay. The Iroko also commented, WAEC result is out and just 61.54% passed, which is a sharp decline from 81% in 2021. Below are the pass percentage from date down to 2021. Can you see the Olodo uprising showing clearly? At 2026, he says, WAEC 61.54%, in 2025, 62.96%, in 2024, 72.12%, and 2023, 79.81%, and in 2022, 76.36%, and in 2021, 81.70%. He says we should be declaring a state of emergency in education. Agree or disagree? That is a comment from Raymond at the Iroko on X. All right, maybe you're one of those who did not pass or result is still being withheld, but what happened this year to WAEC is quite alarming. Let's take a look at that. Pay attention to education so our children can be well educated and compete on the global stage. But now, attention is shifting to Osun State, where preparations for next week's governorship election have taken an unexpected twist. Just days before the Osun governorship election, Governor Ademola Adeleke has vowed to challenge the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in court after the EFCC directed the First Bank to freeze one of the state's salary accounts. Governor Adeleke described the move as unconstitutional, insisting the EFCC acted without obtaining a court order. Now, the governor says the action threatens democracy and due process. Though, on the other hand, the EFCC maintains it is simply carrying out a constitutional responsibility to investigate possible financial misconduct.
This action was taken without any court order. We are supposed to be in democracy, where the rule of law must always prevail. We will therefore not accept any situation where federal agencies trample on the constitutional right of subnational governments. This is a threat to democracy. If we all keep quiet and allow this illegality, very soon, whatever is left of our democracy will be fully eroded. All I ask is for the EFCC chairman to explain to the good people of Osun State and to the Nigerians in general why he froze Osun State government account and show proof to support whatever reason he presents.
Now, this grant week, of course, he spoke to newsmen yesterday, reeling out all of these accounts. But then you've got comments, and I'll be sure to take them as usual. It's virus and trend. At Patience Unoli said, power to control Osun State. This is anarchy and total disregard to democracy. May Nigerians be delivered from the hands of tyrants. But Governor Adeleke should collect some of the blame by his unholy association with the presidency. How is Governor Adeleke associating with the presidency unholy? Okay, that's Patient's comment. Another one says at Elozona Chuku, that's at Elozona, says, why isn't he dancing anymore? Let him continue to dance. The moment he assumed office, instead of focusing on his responsibility and doing his job, he was busy dancing around. Unprintable word right there. I can't call the governor that name. He was never serious as a governor. It's time for someone else to take over. Okay. In Bobrisky's voice now, I'm about to take over. Another comment says, at Obili J says, that serves you right. Tinubu is your brother, and that's why Osun State is supporting him. Your brother have frozen your state account, and you are crying. The truth. All right. Now, at Babs, the truth also commented, when he declared state of emergency on rivers, we ignored. Now, Osun, by the time he is done with us all, we will all regret allowing a power-hungry person into power. After all, Adeleke already endorsed. Let him enjoy his endorsement. Apologies to Osun State people, to Osun people. I mean, how do you apologize after you've come ahead to say a lot of words that we do not even know? But remember, you are part of the conversation. Use the hashtag virus and trend with Marian. It's simply virus and trend with Marian. And I'll be sure to see your comments on X. Tweet at us at the Real Media NG on X. But still talking stories that have been trending online now. As security agencies prepare for the election, one familiar voice is also appealing for peace. But this time, it's coming from Nigeria's music industry. And who else? It's Adeleke now. It's David Adeleke, also known as Davido. Afrobeat superstar Davido has now joined calls for peace ahead of the Osun governorship election. The singer, who is Governor Demola Adeleke's nephew, if you don't know now, you know, urged all candidates to respect the will of the people regardless of the outcome. He appealed to politicians and supporters to avoid violence and allow voters to freely choose their preferred candidates. He flew into Nigeria and straight up to Osun State. Let's take a moment.
Don't forget, we've won this thing twice before. No shaking. We've won it twice before, and we're going to win it again for the third time, by the grace of God. Let us reject violence. I'll say it again. Let us reject violence, intimidation, provocation, and most importantly, destruction. To every person in Osun, come out and exercise your right to vote. Do not be afraid or intimidated. Your vote is your voice, and your choice must be respected. I'll say it again. Your choice must be respected.
That press briefing coming from Davido to the people of Osun State, where he also said, I am not here as Davido, but I'm here as one of you, one of yours, of course. I'm your son, the son of the soil. But let's take a moment to see the comment that did roll in. At Nico said, all right, he calls Davido a fraud. I don't know where that's coming from, but that's what this comment says. I can't believe you're supporting a failure for re-election. You have failed the youth and everything we stand for. This is the beginning of your downfall. Really? Where are we coming with all of this comment? Oluwa Gbemiro Diamond says, one of the mistakes my uncle made was turning the position to family affairs. I love him a lot because he's working, but imagine if Tinubu puts his brothers, sister, nephews, nieces in government at the same time. Will you not complain? I think that's the only problem I have with him. You all have too much money to be. All right? At Flourish also commented, nice one from Davido. That said, I'm certain at Adeleke 01 is taking the win. The real issue is that APC thugs are gearing up to reject the results and spark violence just so their paymaster can declare a state of emergency in Osun. APC has failed big time, yet they offer threats instead of apologies to the people. That's what comment as well. Philip Knopp also said, Davido with full chest crowned his uncle the best governor ever to rule Osun State. Upright family, Adeleke mandate, I stand. This is Philip standing on Adeleke mandate, not my words at this point. But then, I guess that's where we can quickly wrap up with Davido giving comments on Osun State's elections, calling for peace in the land. Please, let's go to the polls, not to be intimidated. Do not accommodate fear, and please do not accommodate violence. That's Virals and Trend for today. Many thanks for being part of it. Your comments are still very much welcome. Use the hashtag Virals and Trend with Marion. And definitely I'll be back tomorrow for more stories trending on social media. Up next is our second commentary this morning, where it takes us to the streets, to the digital highway. While much of the national conversation has been dominated by inflation, insecurity, and politics, the federal government says it's preparing to embark on what could become one of the biggest digital infrastructure projects in Nigeria's history. Do you want to find out what that is? Then stay tuned right here. When we come back, our second commentary will be on the way.
All right. Well, our second commentary this morning takes us to the digital highways. While much of the national conversation has been dominated by inflation, insecurity, and politics, the federal government says it is preparing to embark on what could become one of the biggest digital infrastructure projects in Nigeria's history, a 90,000-kilometer fiber optic network that will stretch across every state, local government area and word in the country. Now, according to the Minister of Communications, Osun State, all contractual and funding arrangements have now been concluded, and within weeks, Nigerians should begin to see fiber cables being laid across the country. The government believes the project would dramatically improve broadband penetration, internet quality, and digital access for millions of people. Of course, at first glance, fiber optic cables may not sound like the most exciting topic. They're buried underground. I mean, you don't see them. You don't interact with them directly. But this is the truth. Almost everything we do today, from making bank transfers to streaming videos to online learning to telemedicine, e-commerce, and even government services, depends on digital infrastructure. So countries no longer compete only with roads, bridges, and airports. They're also competing with internet speed, digital connectivity, and technological innovation. In many respects, fiber optic infrastructure has become the railway system of the digital age. Nations that invest heavily in it tend to attract more investment, create more jobs, and build stronger digital economies.
Now, at first glance, when you look at it, it's looking very, very, very mouth-watering on paper. But then it's what puts in this into context for us to better understand. Nigeria has talked about expanding broadband access for years. In 2020, the federal government launched the National Broadband Plan with the ambition of increasing broadband penetration and reducing the digital divide between urban and rural communities. Progress has certainly been made, but millions of Nigerians, particularly those living outside major cities, still struggle with slow internet speed, poor network coverage, and unreliable connectivity. So if this new rollout delivers what has been promised, it could become one of the most significant investments in Nigeria's digital future.
Well, and the scale is certainly ambitious. 90,000 kilometers. That's an enormous network. And now, according to the minister, it won't stop at major cities. The plan is to reach every geopolitical zone, every state, every local government, and every ward. The government also says about 3,700 new telecommunication stars will begin rolling out from October to provide network coverage for more than 20 million Nigerians currently living in underserved communities. Now, if that target is achieved, it will represent one of the largest expansions of digital access the country has ever undertaken.
Indeed, but perhaps the more important question is this: what difference will ordinary Nigerians actually notice? For someone running a small business, better internet could mean faster digital payment, more reliable online sales, and greater access to customers. Now, for students, it could mean uninterrupted virtual learning and access to educational resources that are currently difficult to reach, because, there are students who are taking classes online. Virtual classes are ongoing. And for hospitals, it could improve telemedicine and digital health records. For farmers, it could provide better access to market information, weather update and financial services. And for government itself, it could improve the delivery of public services through digital platforms. So it could better the lives of Nigerians.
Marian, there's also an economic argument to all of this. Around the world, digital infrastructure is increasingly viewed as economic infrastructure. Countries that successfully expand broadband access often experience growth in entrepreneurship, innovation, and foreign investment. Because businesses naturally gravitate towards places where digital connectivity is reliable. The minister says communication sector contribution to Nigeria's GDP has risen to nearly 21%, which means it is one of the country's fastest growing sectors. Now, if that trajectory continues, digital technology could become an even more important pillar of Nigeria's economy beyond oil.
However, ambitious announcements have never been Nigeria's biggest challenge. We are very quick to roll out all of these headlines, but implementation has been, and we've seen, to be a major setback. Infrastructure projects announced before with great optimism, only for them to encounter delays, funding constraints, contract disputes, maintenance problems. So while the vision is certainly impressive, Nigerians will ultimately judge a project not by the number of press conferences held, but by whether those fiber cables actually reach communities that have waited years for reliable internet access.
There's also another issue: cost. Better infrastructure does not automatically mean affordable internet. Many Nigerians already complain about rising data costs following some of the tariff adjustments. Now, if broadband expands but remains too expensive for millions of citizens, then, can we really say that the benefits of the project will be felt as widely as government hopes? So, indeed, digital inclusion isn't only about building infrastructure. It's also about ensuring people can actually afford to use it.
Now, ultimately, this is a project that asks Nigerians to look beyond today's headlines and think about the country's future. Roads connect people physically. Fiber optic cable connect people digitally. Now, in an economy where businesses, schools, hospitals, government services increasingly depend on technology, digital infrastructure is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity. It's important that we get better connection to the internet. The opportunity is enormous if you look at it. The challenge, as always, will be execution. And then implementing all of which we've announced. Big announcement, press conferences, the headline, the news is having it, is one thing. But another thing is how well this is going to work. Nigerians have complained about poor internet connection before. Is this the solution? The price, the cost of what we pay to afford that internet is, it's rising really high. Nigerians also complaining. And then the quality that you get. So if you pay for it, do we get, quality of what we pay for? That's what Nigerians are also asking and saying today.
And in fact, another announcement by the minister of an interesting initiative that hasn't gotten much attention, a new alphanumeric postcode system, which is expected to launch on October 1st, where every property in Nigeria would receive a unique digital address. Now, what this would do is that it could improve emergency response, make online deliveries more efficient, strengthen security operations, and support the growth of e-commerce, where accurate addressing remains a persistent challenge. But what's your take on all of these issues as regards our digital infrastructure and economy this morning? Do you believe this nationwide fiber optic rollout could transform Nigeria's digital economy, or should government first focus on other pressing infrastructure challenges? What are your thoughts on this? Share with us on our social media platforms, and particularly in the comment section of our YouTube this morning. Let us know what your thoughts are on this particular matter, Marian.
I mean, do we believe that this nationwide fiber optic rollout has the potential to transform Nigeria's economy? I mean, the future will tell. They say October 1, I mean, there's going to be an alphanumeric postcode system which we launch. So we do hope that by October, we'll see the launch and we'll see how that is going to work in Nigeria and how well we can work with it as well. But Nigerians are asking one question: let it be implemented properly. But that's our second commentary for today on the program. At the top of the hour, 8 o'clock, the news with Sufyan will be on the way. Don't forget, a big story is looking at Osun State as well. You do not want to miss that conversation. We need to understand from the side of the APC and from the side of the Accord Party what is really going on in Osun State. And you're part of that conversation. So keep it right here on the morning edition. Of course, it's Real Broadcasting Network.